Hi there. So for this video, we're going to explore some ankle mobility. You can do this sitting on a chair or sitting on the ground. And it might be helpful to bring like a block or a pillow or something to support your leg. Okay. So we're going to start by flexing the ankle. So dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. I'll move back just a little bit more. And what we want to have happen is for the movement to come through the ankle joint. Now, if you notice that your toes are getting really involved in the movement, see if you can make the movement a little bit smaller, go a little bit slower, so that now the toes can be quiet, the toes can be still, and the movement can arise just through the ankle. And as you do this, we're just checking that the leg and the knee are nice and quiet, there isn't any strain or tension, and you can breathe with ease. Good. And then we can try the other side. Now, if you find that no matter how small you do the movement or how slow you go, if the toes are really, like you can't quiet them down, or if like the knee is bending, if this kind of thing is happening, you can manually do the movement. So you can hold on to your heel and you can passively move your foot forward and back, right? So this is just training that neuromuscular connection to reconnect. And then after you've kind of shown your body how to move, then you can release your hands and then try it without. And you might just get maybe like 1 or 2 times where the body can do it and then it kind of loses connection again. Don't feel disheartened. Just know that that's like your baby step, right? You've got 2 good rounds and then you try the other side, then you come back to it. And maybe the next day you get 3 rounds or 4 rounds. And you don't really need to do a ton. Like after you do maybe like 10, take a break, switch sides, and then try something else. So that was flexion. Now we're going to try side to side. And so again, we want to keep the toes quiet, and we don't want to have the leg moving side to side or any strain through the knees. And what I find for myself in particular is my ankle really wants to click. So it's clicking a lot right now. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller. And in doing this, I'm quieting the clicking, but I'm also kind of noticing that the movement, the movement isn't as smooth, and it feels like a little bit more jerky, I guess, the movement. There's less control, but I'm just going to be patient and breathe and just move in the range that's available to me today. Yeah, so you can see that my movement's teeny tiny, right? Let's try the other side. And you might start with holding on to your heel and moving the foot side to side. Show your body how it's meant to move first. Yeah. And then you can try it. Only as far as the toes don't get involved. The leg and the knee stay nice and quiet and relaxed. When we do movements that feel really challenging, there can be a tendency to hold their breath. So notice if that's happening. And if it is, maybe just take a little break and reconnect with your breath. And then come back to it. So this side, I have a bit more range of movement. There isn't any clicking. I can feel a little kind of wobble and shake through my upper leg. So I can probably go a little bit smaller even. Great. And then let's come back to the first side again, switch it up. So we've done flexion, we've done the side to side, and now we can do rotation. So same idea, this time we're taking the ankle in circles. And this is my really crunchy ankle, so I'm gonna go nice and small. Yep. And the toes wanna go too. So sometimes it could be a matter of just pausing and then then starting again. Be really gentle with yourself. Like, I find it hysterical that no matter how small I go, the toes kind of have a mind of their own. I definitely have days where the range has been a little bit more. Some days it's a little bit less. It just depends kind of what's going on. Maybe what physical activities you have or haven't been doing lately. If you're feeling tired or stressed, it can impact the body's abilities. So I'm just doing a few both directions. And we'll switch sides. And you can use your hand to manually move the ankle. And you just want to keep the leg quiet, keep the toes quiet, and let it come through the ankle, through the ankle. Yeah. Good, so that can be a fun practice that you incorporate maybe before you do standing movement, or after you've gone for a long walk or a run or something like that. It can feel really nice for the ankles. And I also like to spend just some time doing massage, just rubbing, squeezing, kneading the toes. You can kind of spend a few moments on each one. Something that I've been doing with my fingers, but you can do with your toes as well, is just kind of playing with like each of the little joints, kind of like bending forward and back. And then you can kind of move the toes sideways as well. And work through each toe. So I'm kind of doing you can kind of see, and then the middle of the toe, and then right down to the base of the toe, and then side to side. And just be curious, really, like about how does your body move or not move. Just approaching all of these exercises really with a sense of curiosity and exploration. And before you begin, set a baseline. Like, notice how the feet feel. How do they feel in standing? How do they feel in sitting? And then as you go through these movements, you can kind of come back to standing or just sitting and notice what's changed or what's shifted. Yeah, and then you can even massage between the bones in your feet, the top of the feet. And I'm just using my thumbs now, kind of from the center of my foot and pressing out to the edges. Just going across the top of the foot. And then you can do the same thing on the bottom. So starting from the middle, and I'm just kind of pressing in and sliding my fingers apart towards the edges of the foot, pressing in and apart. And go all the way down to the heel. And then back up again. And then one that I like to do is holding on to the base of the big toe and the base of the baby toe, and then moving the foot side to side. So it's like you're kind of if there's like a pole going down the middle of your foot, you're twisting either side around that central axis. Just kind of coaxing a little bit more mobility, creating the feet, letting the feet become a little bit more supple. Yeah. Let's compare the feet. Yeah, I can even see like subtle changes in the color. This side feels much more alive and connected. This one feels kind of a little bit kind of like tighter and tenser. So I'm going to spend a few minutes now on this other foot, starting with the toes. Give them a little knead. There's like no right or wrong way to do this. Like if it feels good to kind of rub them or squeeze them or twist them. And then starting with the baby toe, I'm just working through the joints of the toe, just flexing them back and forth. Just noticing how each toe moves. And then a little bit to the side. And then the next toe. You might notice that like certain parts of the certain joints are much more flexible or mobile, and other ones maybe feel a little bit stickier or harder to move. And side to side again. We rely on our feet so much to, move us from place to place, keep us standing upright. We often, don't really take really good care of our feet. They're kind of an afterthought. We don't even really think about them unless there's a problem. So taking a couple of minutes whenever you have time to just show your feet a little bit of love. I often like to do this like when I'm watching TV. I'm just kind of unwinding in the evening and watching something on Netflix. I like to give myself a little bit of a foot massage or play around with my joints with my toes or my fingers, and always feel better after. Can't hurt, right? So I'm just doing the top of my feet and then the bottom, so from the center, sliding out. And you'll have to explore and play and find what pressure feels the best for you. If it's too much to like spend this much time using your hands on your feet, you could roll your feet out on a ball, like a tennis ball or like a bouncy rubber ball, something like that, or like a wooden dowel. Can be really nice too. And then holding the base of the big toe and base of the baby toe and rotating your foot kind of around the central axis. Oh, this one's pretty stiff today. And you can try that at different times of the day. You might have a different experience in the morning versus in the evening, or differences before or after doing physical activity like hiking or going for a long walk or something like that. Yeah, and then you can notice how both feet feel. Once again, certainly feel more balanced. Yeah, this is nice. So if you've done those exercises, come up to standing and then just see how you feel on your feet. You could sense into the center of the heels, the base of the big toes, and the base of the baby toes, as if each foot's standing on a tripod. And just notice where the pressure goes in your feet. If you're feeling more balanced, if you feel more connected, maybe there's a shift somewhere further up the chain that you didn't notice before. So explore, have fun, and have a great day.